Hey, good Wednesday morning and welcome to GBN Live, guys. It's been a minute since I've been the host on the show because I've been on the road traveling like crazy, but I am so glad to be here this morning. I'm Todd Cartner, your host, and guys, welcome to GBN Live. We want to thank our sponsor, Grand Strand Law Group. They have offices in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. They want to be your trusted choice. You can reach them at grandstrandlawgroup.com or by calling 843-492-5422. Don't forget to give permission to StreamYard, which is our platform that we advertise on or that we broadcast on. You can do that by StreamYard.com/Facebook. And that way we can see your comments whenever you post them on Facebook. You don't need to do that for any other social media platform, but that will be required on Facebook. So today's guest is Daniel Puka, who is with Toast. They are a POS, point of sale system company, and he is with our Murrells Inlet Chapter. We can't wait to get him on, learn some of the new technology that's out there. Guys, stick around. GBN Live is next. All right, guys, welcome back to GBN Live. Once again, we have with us today Daniel Puka, who is with Toast out of our Murrells Inlet Chapter. How you doing today, Dan?
I'm doing great, Todd. How are you?
Good. We are so glad to have you here. I can't wait to learn some of this stuff. We were just talking before the show about all this technology that's coming out that's just crazy and how it's changing the game in the restaurant industry. But before we get into all that, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your family, all that kind of stuff.
Thanks, Todd. Appreciate you having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm as you said, my name is Daniel Puka. I live in Murrells Inlet, and I'm also a part of the GBN Murrells Inlet chapter. Moved here in 2018 from Connecticut. I actually transferred down with a company I worked for prior to Toast, and was working over in Myrtle Beach, and had the opportunity to make the jump in 2022 to move out of restaurant operations and over into Toast. I'm here in Murrells Inlet with my wife Stacy and my two kids, Zoe and TJ. So keeping us busy on the weekends with their sports activities and just extracurricular events. So
yes, I was at a volleyball tournament all weekend, so I understand where you're coming from. And we do have something in common because I used to be a corporate training manager for Lone Star Steakhouse. So I've done the restaurant world myself, and it's a tough life.
Yes, it is. It is.
And it seems like it never ends.
Yes, that's right. The job's never through.
I know, right? It just resets every 24 hours, I guess.
That's right.
So, Dan, tell us about Toast and the company itself. How long it's been in existence, that kind of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So Toast was founded in 2012. There were three founders, Steve Fredette, Aman Narang, and Jonathan Grimm. They all founded Toast as basically a payment processor up in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Started in a basement apartment, basement office. So very humble beginnings, and it was really only 11 years ago. So
oh, wow.
Not really, back in 2012, and fast forward to today, we are in. They started with, of course, just one customer, and then continued to build on from there. To today, we are in 77,000 locations across the country, including Ireland and Canada. So
I'll do their tech support there if you need me to in Ireland.
No, it's kind of be a nice place to visit.
Right.
And then, and now present day, like I said, we're in 77,000 locations, publicly traded company on the stock market. So really a up and coming point of sale company. So really excited to be a part of it.
So before we dig into some of the technology here or some of the new items, tell us about, you focus mainly on point of sale systems. Tell us why that is so important to a business. And I know you kind of focused on the restaurants, as you were saying before the show, but it's every business uses it. I will tell you, somebody needs to sell to Belk because they still use these big, huge machines that, have monochrome monitors and everything else. Kind of funny, but anyway.
Right.
So yeah, tell us about those.
Yeah. So, everybody's seen the old school, whether it be the toy, cash registers or however the humble beginnings of how you basically purchase something, whether it be a t-shirt or food. and that technology has developed exponentially. So now Toast specifically is an all-in-one platform designed specifically for restaurants by restaurant people. So in my interactions with people throughout the Toast company, I've actually yet to really meet anybody that has no restaurant experience. So really, they have a just a foundation of prior restaurant employees that are focusing on restaurant-specific features that are important to restaurant owners and restaurant employees. POS system is something. It's kind of like it's really the brains of your operation. It's something you interact with as a manager or as an employee at least twice a day. So, I mean, a cook would come in and clock in on one of these and log their hours. So, whether it be just, clocking in and clocking out or utilizing it to run your sales and sell your products, you're using it quite often. I used to find myself back at a POS station in my restaurant operation days, a couple hundred times a day, probably.
Right.
So, it really is an important driver to the business's success and efficiency.
And I think a lot of people, a lot of consumers may not see or understand the whole workings of a POS system because, like you said, you can clock in. The host stand can use it for seating capabilities that tie into the table to walk all the way through the restaurant. And I like to stay out the back door because that's where your orders come in from the POS system.
That's right. And
Yeah.
and let's face it, the days of the old school days of it just being a four-wall business, you walk in and place an order for food and they bring you out your food. Those have long since gone and evolved, whether it be through, post-pandemic era. Technology has really been a driver in streamlining efficiencies for restaurants and, through labor strains or product, supply chain issues that we've dealt with over the last 2 years. We found that restaurants really rely heavily on the technology to help get them through and bridge some of those gaps that they have in their operation as a whole.
Yeah. I think Chick-fil-A needs to open up their training system to all other restaurants because they've got it down pat.
They sure do. They sure do.
And that has a lot to do with the POS system too, because
absolutely.
That's another thing that I think that typical consumers don't see is that when somebody is when they put in the order, it automatically goes to the kitchen. They don't have to write a hand ticket and take it back there anymore. So they get it as soon as the server puts it in. And that's something else we're going to talk about here a little bit later. But even the point of sale system that are in the server's hands taking the order at the table.
Right.
So that's kind of crazy too.
A long way.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of those capabilities. I know you focused on restaurants. So let's talk about some of those capabilities. What's come out since COVID and maybe some of the things that are coming up.
So I think many of us have seen throughout, once the restaurants kind of opened back up after being shut down for a short period of time there, you started to see an abundance of the QR codes, online ordering, curbside pickup. These are all technological advancements that POS systems had to really kind of adapt and develop to provide for their customers. It was something that Toast was really on the forefront of, allowing for a QR code to be scanned to allow somebody to place an order right through their phone and not have to necessarily wait for a server if there's only 2 servers that are working in a restaurant on a day because there's so many people have called out. It's still, so it provided opportunities for people to still be able to go and visit restaurants in a time when there was a lot of strains on the hospitality industry as it was coming out of the pandemic. And, and truthfully, some of the ones that held on to that technology were the ones that were able to kind of really make it through the long haul and push through to the other side and are now becoming to be some of the thriving businesses that you're seeing today.
Yeah. It's crazy. And, I'm going to switch gears too about another business or other businesses that use point of sale systems. Way back in my high school days, when Sam Walton was alive, I worked with Walmart and I was the customer service manager over the front of the store. And we used to have department managers that would have to go around and key in the orders basically by counting what was on the shelf, knowing what their par was, what they had to get to. So if their par was 12 and they had 3, they needed to order 9, that kind of stuff. It would take hours to place an order for one department. and they had to do it every week. And now with Walmart, the way their setup is, and this is kind of what I was talking about with the inventory with restaurant, as soon as I purchase that product, it goes into an ordering system.
It's
And they
amazing.
know that it's going to be on the next truck to replace what I just bought. And it's immediate. The downside is it cut out a lot of employees or, what they needed to do. But
Sure.
it's crazy at how those systems work now. And the back end is just insane.
It really is. And we've found, especially with, and Toast offers inventory solutions as well. We've actually acquired a company called Extra Chef that actually also incorporates artificial intelligence. So, things as easy as somebody checking in a food delivery from, someone like US Foods who, would drop an invoice off. You can take a picture of that invoice and it would add your inventory right into your back end.
Oh,
And
nice.
and this is something that even if, everybody that may have any familiarity with the restaurant business, sometimes things are damaged or arrive, they're missing or the same quantity isn't there. Even by taking a pen and crossing out a number 2 and making a 1, that technology can read that and understand that it's only going to add 1 case of chicken to your inventory versus 2 because 1 was missing. So I mean, it's really freed up a lot of time for people to then, while yes, it does take less man hours and manpower to do those things from an operational standpoint within restaurants, it actually is freeing people up like chefs to go and observe their food and make sure that people are cooking things to a safety standard and to the spec that they want them to be doing, and being able to pay attention, almost getting back to the things that you got into it for in the first place, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So,
and the other that really helps the restaurant with their costs, because they can really get, if you have an accurate inventory and you have an accurate system that takes the stuff out of inventory when you place an order or whatever, then you can really fine tune that cost. I know when I first started in the restaurant business was actually a pizza restaurant 100 years ago. And we called up other restaurants or went and ate at other restaurants to determine what their price was so we could determine what we would sell our pizza
that's
for.
right. Yeah.
And we had no idea what our true pizza cost was.
Sure. And yeah, getting that inventory cost and the cost of your recipes, all of that is a component to being an efficient business, right?
Yeah. That just kind of threw something in my head. You almost can't do a restaurant business without a point of sale system these days.
No.
And not run it efficiently.
Sure. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
So let's talk about this mobile order system and the pay system that you guys have. That's kind of what I was talking about, getting into this technology.
Yeah. Actually, we have a system called Mobile Dining Solutions, otherwise known as Order and Pay at the Table. It's essentially a QR code based system that can that pulls up your menu, and depending upon whether or not you have the services to only pay for your order or to view the menu from there, you can also, in addition to that, place the order, create a tab, run a tab. Now, and traditional restaurant setting, you may think, well, I don't really want to do that. I want to sit down and be waited on, which is completely understandable. But then you have concepts like 810 is one of my customers. They have the multiple bowling alleys and bowling lanes. They use the mobile order and pay because there's a lot of people coming and going and sitting down at the lane, and then they say, I want another beer, and they take a picture, start a tab, and get a beer sent over. So it's not the standard service model that you would be used to at a restaurant. And so how do you handle a concept that uses a different model like that? Toast can provide that solution to be able to allow for different tabs to be started and orders to be rung in at different times, and for everybody to have their own tab and to be able to order things at their leisure, without having to rely on someone to show up and say, oh, sorry, I didn't know to come over here. Everybody already ordered, so how long do you wait to get your food? So really makes a lot of sense when you change up the applications and the venues and how those different solutions can be placed. So especially for food trucks, we love putting the QR codes on the food trucks. People come right up, people print them out on big poster signs or vinyl, put them right on the food truck there, and you can come by and take a picture, see what they have, place your order, walk right up, and it's paid for. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
yeah,
Red Robin comes to mind, but they have the little kiosk that's on the end of their tables
sure.
where you can pay for your food. I think you can even order desserts off of it now, I think is how they had it. But I was up in Greenville at a restaurant, and they had this little kiosk at the end that you could do the same thing, place your order that you wanted to. But the real neat thing was if you needed something, you hit a button and a green light would come on. And that told the server that you needed something, as opposed to yelling across the restaurant or whatever. It
Yeah,
was just kind of cool, that um, it alerted the server without being rude
or intrusive
her
on
not
some
knowing.
bosses. Yeah,
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 it was kind of neat. Some of the other things that we're talking or that I've noticed as well with this new technology, and I think Panera Bread has it, where you can come in and you have a kiosk that you can place the order, and then it goes up already to the line, and they can have it ready for you by the
yes,
time you get up there almost.
yes. And I've seen a lot of great iterations of people using that with, to really still continue that human face-to-face interaction where they place the kiosks near where you would already walk up and place the order, and you have somebody behind the counter still standing there saying, "Hey, if you need anything, just let me know. I can help you walk you through the order." And you're not taking away that human component to having a nice food experience.
Yeah. So we don't all work for Walmart, right? With their kiosk self-checkout now.
That's right.
All right. Well, guys, stay with us. When we come back, we're going to talk about a couple other items, such as Toast Go 2. Don't know what that is, but we'll find that out. He has one called Tap Flex and a digital ordering system that Dan offers as well. So stay with us. GBN Live. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hi, I'm Justice Ann. I've been a canine liaison at Grand Strand Law Group for, 30 years? What's that? You don't believe me? I meant 30 dog years, of course. First rule of lawyering, read the fine print. Anywho, my humans at Grand Strand Law Group have a combined 20 years experience. I know, not as much as me, but that's in people years. So yeah, still pretty impressive. Real estate, estate planning, or probate, you need GSLG.
Grand Strand Law Group. Trust us, we have a dog.
Great Business Networking grew out of the idea that by creating lasting friendships within the community, we can make the community even better.
I was looking to network with professionals and to be able to refer my clients to somebody that I trust.
Well, it's really important to trust the members of the group because we really generate quality referrals, and to know somebody, be friends with them, and get that qualified referral is the key to success.
It is networking, but it doesn't feel like networking, and that is important to me. I come to the meetings, I have fun, I make great connections, and I help grow my business.
GBN, these are some of the best professionals in the market, and having that resource available to me, that's priceless.
Well, GBN is a network of business professionals that build long-lasting friendships that will not only grow my business, will grow yours as well. That's what referral marketing is all about.
GBN really is the most important marketing for your business. Check us out today. All right, guys, welcome back to GBN Live. I'm Todd Cartner, your host, and today we have with us Daniel Puka, who is with Toast out of our Murrells Inlet Chapter. And Dan, we appreciate you joining us here. We want to thank our sponsor once again, Grand Strand Law Group, who is your trusted choice. They have offices in Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. You can reach them online at grandstrandlawgroup.com or by calling 843-492-5422. Don't forget, if you guys have a question today for me or Dan or GBN, to type them in your comments and we'll get those on air right away. And make sure you give StreamYard your permission. Which here we go. We have a comment already, Dan. It says, "I love the kiosk at the table. It helps the server to use their time more wisely." Sorry, I can't see. When dining, it's easy to see what we need. So thanks for that comment. And Dan agrees with you, I think.
Absolutely.
It does make it more easy.
Absolutely does.
Yeah. So before the break, we mentioned some of the other products you guys offer. So let's start with this Toast Go 2.
That would be that's our handheld.
Ah, there you go.
So basically, the Toast Go 2 is essentially a terminal in your hand. It's a mobile. That's a handheld with runs on wireless, and you've got your whole floor plan right here to where you would be able to see your tables, mark your tables, ring everything in right from here. The nice thing about it is, as everybody has probably experienced, a server writing things down or hurriedly writing things down. Maybe she didn't necessarily get every little detail, or she can't understand his or her own handwriting. When you're ringing things in directly to the terminal, you're really eliminating a lot of possibilities of mistakes. Another nice thing is if you've ever been waited on by a server at a large gathering with multiple 10, 12 people at a table, he or she could go around to the tables, take your orders and for drinks, and then go right back around and start taking the dinner orders and appetizer orders. And during that time, that a drink runner could come right back over. The server has never even left the table and the drinks are there. So right. It's really an improvement on the guest experience and an efficiency for your employees.
Yeah. And it's funny you mention that, because one of the restaurants, again, that comes to mind is Red Robin. They have food and drink runners that really speed up the process. That's all they do is run food and drink all night long. And so if a server's at the table, like you said, keying in the drinks, before she leaves the table, the drinks could be there.
And how fantastic is that for an experience, especially when someone like myself who has young kids and they have a short attention span to the dinner experience, to where they start to fade after a while. And if it takes a long time, it's not usually a good ending, to where you're
That's exactly right.
I agree. Over. I just want to go.
Bring some more of those endless fries, right?
That's right.
So I don't know if people are just getting lazy with this or what, but let's talk about this Toast Tap, I think is how you call it.
Yeah. So the Toast Tap is actually our payment process device. So when you use Toast, we're the payment processor. So as at the table, I'm sure we've all seen these little logos on things such as, for things like Apple Pay or on your debit cards or bank cards. They have that ability. It's a near field communication. In addition to that, we've got a chip reader and a regular standard swipe. So right when you're at the table, you have the ability to just take your phone and just tap it right on the top, pay for your check, and then an interface would come up to where you would put your tip in, sign with your finger, and then you give it right back to the server and you're good to go. Toast does a lot of market studies and a lot of field studies and surveys. All their market research leads to the fact that 7 out of 10 people find waiting to pay for their food at the end of the restaurant experience is the most frustrating. And I don't disagree. There's nothing worse than being done and being ready to go and you can't go because you can't find your server anymore. This not only streamlines that experience, it also is good from a security standpoint. No longer are you walking away with someone's credit card. Not to say that people aren't trustworthy, but there's always opportunities for, prying eyes or somebody's phone to just take a picture of something. You never know. So by a server never leaving the table and being right there, it's always within view, and you always have your credit card secure, kind of they're not leaving with it. So.
And I know you guys link up the payment processing there, but I guess that brings another question up, is that, and maybe this isn't your expertise, but I'm going to ask it anyway. But that tap, when you do it on the tap, how secure is that?
It's very secure. Apple actually has, when Apple Pay first came out, for Apple to stand behind it, they said, we'll give you $1 million. Anybody can hack into that. I mean, they were pretty behind it.
Wow.
It randomly generates a series of numbers, a unique set of numbers, instead of a standard credit card number. So it's really very encrypted, very safe, and it's considered to be, because most people have payment information stored on their phone. It's unlikely someone has all of your payment information and your phone. So those two things kind of combines, kind of like your double security.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
So let's talk about the Flex and digital ordering products, because I know that that's really kind of what we're going to do, and I want to hear a little bit about those.
Nowadays, we consider it kind of just table stakes for restaurants to have their menu online, right? So if anybody wants to go to a new place or they're on vacation, on a place like such as Myrtle Beach, the first thing they're going to do is either get on Facebook or get on Google or,
Right.
and look it up. What they're going to do is go ahead and search to see what do you sell? What is your food like? And if you're at a hotel or you're at a group on vacation and you just want to do a to-go order, can you order online? And then again, first thing, go to Google, go to the internet and look it up. So our mobile ordering and online ordering services provide free listings on our app, which is the Toast Takeout app. Everybody can go onto that, download it, and just see what restaurants are offering to go in their area. In addition to that, we actually just partnered recently with Google to where when you do Google a restaurant, you have in that right-hand side on that column there, the ability to order food online. You can order with Toast as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you don't even have to go to the website, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then commissions from third-party delivery services can get pretty high. Our direct integration with online ordering allows for commission-free online ordering and pickup, which puts money and profits right back into restaurant owners' pockets to where that's really important to them, because taking upwards of 25, 28, 30%, for some of those third-party companies, that can really impact your wallet. So
we were talking about that before the show, about how a particular restaurant that I wanted to order from using DoorDash, which I didn't and won't now, but the price for 2 entrees was $56. And when I called the restaurant directly, it was $19. That's a huge difference.
Yeah. And we see people that, locations that they have different pricing structures for, use of those types of third-party integration services, to where they got to recoup some costs somehow, because otherwise they're almost paying to sell food. So,
right.
That's not a survivable business model. So,
right. It's a great concept. They just got a lot of tweaks to work out.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. All right, that means it's time for rapid fire. We're going to throw one at you here for a minute. So these are just some rapid questions that we're going to ask you just to get to know you a little bit better. Okay. And you can just answer with 1 or 2 questions, or 1 or 2 answer responses, or you can talk about it for 20 minutes if you want to. We don't care. But what was your first job?
I was a caddy at a golf course.
Oh, nice. Are you a night owl or an early bird?
A little of both.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I go to bed very late and get up very early every day. A dog or a cat person?
Dog person, 100%.
Yeah, I have a couple of huskies, and one of mine bit her tail off a couple of weeks ago.
Oh my!
Surgery later.
Were they chasing it, and then they finally?
No, she just bit it off.
My goodness!
I guess she was hungry. Dark or milk chocolate?
Oh, milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate. I'm the same way. Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite word or phrase?
I don't know.
Yeah. Favorite movie or actor?
Oh, I love Tom Hanks.
I do too, Tom. I don't think he's ever gotten the credit that he deserves.
He deserves, right?
I think he is a top-notch actor.
He can really do it all.
I agree. And he's got a new movie that is either coming out or just did.
Yeah,
that I want to see. Yeah. Favorite song or artist?
I'm
Maybe
like
genre?
I'm a 90s alternative guy. I like that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Favorite vacation spot?
Anywhere warm and sunny.
Yeah. And then lastly, your favorite mobile app, or one that you use on a regular basis, not GBNs, of course, but anything else that you use regularly?
I have a TikTok account with my daughter. So,
well, that may be cool. I may have to check that out. So, all right. Well, thank you for playing rapid fire with us. So, let's continue with some of these services that a point of sale system does. And I know we kind of touched base on it at the beginning of the show, but I think a lot of people don't realize that you can also do payroll. You can record the tips on there. You can schedule your employees. You can have gift and loyalty cards that are tied into it. You can even, and this is what I really wanted to talk about, because I saw this on your website, that you can integrate marketing into your point of sale system. So what does that entail there?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for bringing that up. Our marketing solutions that we offer are look, let's face it, marketing can kind of be an ambiguous type thing, right? You don't really know if it's working or if it's effective. You don't know who you're reaching.
Sure.
And sometimes after a while, you might start strong, but especially as a restaurant owner, you've got a million other things to do. The last thing you really think about doing is drafting an email to send out to all your guests about a promotion. Toast offers a set and forget type solution using email addresses, phone numbers, etc. It categorizes your customers. So people that, for example, you can set a "We Miss You" campaign, and people that have not visited your restaurant in 30 days by either ordering online or using their credit card in some other capacity, they would receive an email that says, "Hey, we miss you. You haven't seen us in a while. Come out and see us. Here's $5 off the next time you visit." And the restaurant owner didn't prompt that, didn't do it. It just kind of self-categorized itself automatically by that time that has lapsed, and has reached out to a customer who hasn't been there in over a month. In addition to that, they then would then be able to reach out to them again and market them with additional coupons, et cetera, and to be able to have repeat business. On the top of that little page that the restaurant owner would be visiting to see, all the emails, et cetera, that went out, they would have a view of how many got sent, how many were open, how many coupons were redeemed as a result of that. So it's a quantifiable marketing service that
Sure.
you can really put a value on and go, this is making me money. This is great. Or this isn't working. I'm not going to use this anymore. Or I need to change it. So you have the ability to kind of really change direction and to see the results of your efforts there.
So that could really tie into any specials that they may be running if they are starting to take holiday bookings for parties,
Exactly.
anything like that. That's pretty cool,
Yeah.
especially if it was all built into the same system.
That's
So you're
right.
not having to learn other things. You're not having to purchase other things. They're all built in.
Right.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. And that's really what we try to do, is to provide the all-in-one solution for restaurants, so that nobody really wants to have a million different logins and passwords. You'd like to be able to go to one place and manage your business in one, succinct area, to where you can just, everything is right here for you. And we have that ability with not only our marketing, but also our loyalty programs and gift card programs. Our gift cards, you could see at any given time how many gift cards you have out there that have yet to be redeemed or are have sold in the last month. To kind of see, all right, well, I got a lot of gift cards just went out. It's right before the holidays, so I'm get ready for a busy January. You can kind of really dial in on your business that way using those tools.
Funny you should mention that. I actually found a Christmas card from 3 years ago that had a gift card in it for me. And I'm like, I didn't even remember it was in there. And I went and checked it, and there was $100 on it. So
that's a surprise.
Yay me, right?
Right.
So, Dan, I also want to switch gears a little bit about training. I know you guys offer a lot of support, but one of the things I realized on your website is you guys have a lot of like training videos or learning videos, how to learn how to do this or whatnot. There's a lot on there. That's pretty cool.
There sure is. Yeah. We like to give a lot of options to our restaurant owners and our customers. They have the ability and the freedom to really dial in and the settings to which they can have on their restaurant. We really do cater to all different types of businesses, different sizes and scopes of restaurants. So there's not a one size fits all. So, what you may use in your restaurant, somebody else may not even think about using. So that having those options and being able to educate yourself on our resource and educational pages that we have and we offer to our customers is important, because then they know how to do things. And that's really the main mission of Toast, is to empower restaurant owners to do what they like and make their restaurant thrive.
Yeah. Well, Dan, this has been some great information. It's crazy how the technology is coming about, how it's going further, in the near future. But if you guys are interested or know somebody that has a restaurant or any business that could use a point of sale system, you can reach out to Dan by calling 854-855-0209. That's 854-855-0209. Or you can reach him at toasttab.com. Terry Ann's on here. Thanks for joining us, Terry. She says awesome technology. We appreciate that. There's toasttab.com. There's the website. And if we can get the phone number up right quick, there you go, 854-855-0209. Dan, before we go, can you tell us one last thing? And we want to know what referral marketing means to you, and specifically why you chose GBN.
So I chose GBN because I loved the friends first, business second model. I think that that's great. I think that you can accomplish a lot by having a trusted group of friends that all have different, positions and jobs, and really rely on each other to help each other out. I mean, that's really what a community is, right? And that's really the community feel that I get from GBN. And I chose it because, that's exactly what happens at our meetings is we talk business and, have some laughs and just talk about life, and we get some great leads and referrals. And
well, that's awesome. Well, Dan, thanks so much for joining you guys. Remember, we'll see you next week. And if it's Wednesday, it's GBN Live. Take care. Have a great week.